Well, the United States just beat St Kitts and Nevis 6 goals to nil, and I guess that's not wasn't surprised. I mean, it wasn't surprised that the U.S. was going to win. It was a surprise at how much the U.S. was going to win by. And now, with Jamaica beating Trinidad and Tobago 4 goals to 1, United States has a +6 goal differential against Jamaica's +3 goal differential, and now it's Jamaica's turn to have fun against St Kitts and Nevis. So we're going to see how that all pans itself out. Mihailovic gets 2 goals. Jesus Ferrara gets 3. Brian Robinson, I think, gets the other one. Look, this was not a game that you were going to be looking at and saying, "Wow, I wonder is this going to be an exciting game? Is this going to be?" Look, the United States had I think at the 70-minute mark had 24 shots on and to St Kitts and Nevis 1. They had 12 shots on goal to St Kitts and Nevis's 0-0. I mean, this was just an absolute whooping, okay, by the United States, okay, and you know, again, like I said, it wasn't about how well the United States was going to play. Were St. Kitts going to be a decent opposition? They weren't. Okay, look, this is a team that lost to Trinidad and Tobago 3 goals to 0, and now they play against the U.S. They lose 6 goals to 0. Now, what's really going to beg the question going forward for the U.S. is how well they do against Trinidad and Tobago, because you have to think that Jamaica is going to do the same thing to St. Kitts as what the U.S. did. Okay, I don't know if it's going to be more, it's going to be less, but the real question is, because if the United States finish second in the group, then there's a chance they run into Mexico in the semifinals versus running to them into the finals. Now, granted, Mexico looked good last game against a very weakened Honduras team. They play Haiti next, and then they play Qatar. Okay, none of those teams are going to be any threat to the Mexican team. And again, if the United States plays Mexico in the semifinals, who knows what's going to happen in that game? I mean, we're talking about a top Mexican team against a second-rate U.S. team. So ultimately, you want to play them in the final. You don't want to play them in the semifinals. But again, like I said, that's neither here nor there. We got a ways to go before we get to that. Well, looking at this game, the United States scored 3 goals in 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Just absolutely. Then Ferrer got his. Had 3 goals in a row, didn't he? He scored the 3rd, 4th, and 5th goals, and gets a hat trick. But Mihailovic got a great goal. Brian Robinson got a fantastic goal off a corner kick. Ferrara gets a goal off a couple goals off inside the box, and one off a breakaway. Goalkeeper for St. Kitts did reasonably well, but look, this was a very, very weak team. Okay, a weak Caribbean team that is not going to be very good against the United States. It's just face it. They just were never in this game, and they're not going to be in the game against Jamaica either. And really, the question is going to be, how many goals is the United States going to beat Trinidad and Tobago by, versus how many is Jamaica going to beat St. Kitts by? If the United States, does to Trinidad and Tobago what Jamaica did to Trinidad and Tobago, then they're going to finish in first place, and they're going to go to the easier group, easier draw of the bracket. But like I said, again, when you look at right now what's going on in the Gold Cup, you'd have to say that this is a very weak tournament. It is not, again, from the United States standpoint, the Nations League was obviously much more important than this one, because you had their top players playing in the Nations Cup versus the Gold Cup. But again, like I said, Is what it is. 6-0. Again, this is the third time the United States, I think they beat Cuba 6-0, maybe a couple times in past Gold Cups. But again, a good win, a solid win, lots of goals, 4-0 at halftime, 6-0 at the end. Could have had a few more, didn't. Congratulations to the U.S. for winning. Now they're going to play Trinidad and Tobago. They should beat them quite handily, and hopefully Jamaica won't put in as many goals, because goal differential is going to determine this group. The United States, and I think Jamaica's got to be scratching their heads how they didn't beat the United States. Look, the United States in the second half was the better team against Jamaica, but only in possession of the ball. They certainly weren't better in putting pressure on the Jamaican goalkeeper, and the goal that they got was off of really just a poor play by the defensive player by Jamaica, which gave it to the United States for the goal, but is what it is. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please click like, share, and subscribe for me, and have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching.